Isaac was the son of Abraham, and he was 40 years old when he married Rebekah. Almost 20 years later, Rebekah still had no children. So Isaac asked the Lord to let her have a child, and the Lord answered his prayer. Before Rebekah gave birth, she knew she was going to have twins, because she could feel them inside her, fighting each other. She thought, why is this happening to me? Finally, she asked the Lord why her twins were fighting, and he told her, your two sons will become two separate nations. The younger of the two will be stronger, and the older son will be his servant. When Rebekah gave birth, the first baby was covered with red hair, so he was named Esau. The second baby grabbed onto his brother's heel, so they named him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when they were born. The boys grew up. Esau became a skilled hunter who loved to be out in the fields. But Jacob was a quiet man who stayed at home. Esau was Isaac's favorite because he was fond of good meat, but Jacob was Rebekah's favorite. One day Esau came back from hunting. He was tired and weak from hunger. Jacob was boiling a pot of beans. So Esau said to Jacob, I am weak with hunger. Let me have some of that red soup. Jacob replied, sell me your rights as the firstborn son. I'm about to die, Esau answered. What good will those rights do me? But Jacob said, promise me your birthrights here and now. And that's what Esau did. Jacob then gave Esau some bread and some of the bean stew. When Esau had finished eating and drinking, he just got up and left, showing how little he thought of his rights as the firstborn, which usually came with inheriting the largest amount of property, as well as the leadership of the family. When Esau was 40 years old, he married 2 Hittite women. These marriages made Isaac and Rebekah very unhappy. When Isaac grew old, his eyes were so bad he could see only shadows. He called in his firstborn son Esau and said, I am old and might die at any time. So take your bow and arrows and go hunting. Kill an animal for me to eat. Prepare the food that I love. Bring it to me and I will eat it. Then I will bless you before I die. Rebekah had been listening, and as soon as Esau left to go hunting, she said to Jacob, I heard your father tell Esau to kill a wild animal and cook some tasty food for him before he dies. Your father said this because he wants to bless your brother with the Lord as his witness. Now, my son, listen carefully to what I want you to do. Go and kill 2 of your best young goats and bring them to me. I'll cook the tasty food that your father loves so much. Then you can take it to him so he can eat it and give you his blessing before he dies. My brother Esau is a hairy man, Jacob reminded her, and I am not. If my father touches me and realizes I am trying to trick him, he will put a curse on me instead of giving me a blessing. Rebekah insisted, let his curse fall on me. Just do what I say and bring me the meat. So Jacob brought the meat to his mother, and she cooked the tasty food that his father liked. Then she took Esau's best clothes and put them on Jacob. She also covered the smooth part of his hands and neck with goatskins, and gave him some bread and the tasty food she had cooked. Jacob disguises himself as his brother Esau to receive his father Isaac's blessing. Despite Isaac's initial suspicion due to Jacob's voice, the deception is successful, and Isaac unknowingly blesses Jacob with prosperity and dominion. As Jacob departs after receiving the blessing, Esau returns with the food for his father, and they both realize the deception. Esau pleads with his father Isaac to bless him, but Isaac explains that he was deceived and has unknowingly blessed Jacob. Esau weeps bitterly and asks if there is any blessing left for him. Isaac blesses Esau with a promise of prosperity, but foretells that he will serve his brother Jacob and eventually break free from that servitude. Esau harbors intense resentment against Jacob for stealing the blessing. Esau planned to kill Jacob after Isaac's death, prompting Rebekah to advise Jacob to flee to her brother Laban's house until Esau stopped being angry.
All right. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. And shalom to the hopeful elect on the highways and byways, pushing this truth. It's your brother Rabbi Knapp coming out with a lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. Now I'm going to start off in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. Okay. It says deliverance from captivity promised. Okay. It says the word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, thus speaketh the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, power of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. Okay. You want to write all these words in a book, Jeremiah. This is what the Lord's telling Jeremiah, man. Let me grab open another page. I'm going to keep that going if I can. Okay. So he told Jeremiah, everything I'm telling you, write this in a book. All right. Romans 15 and verse number 4. For whatever things were written before were written for our learning, that we through the patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Okay. So the Lord wanted Jeremiah to write these things down so that we could be reading it now, so we can have hope for the times that we're going to be coming into. All right. And that's where the comfort's going to come from. It's going to come from understanding the scriptures. All right. Let's go to Ezekiel. There's another one in Ezekiel chapter 2. In verse 9, it says, now when I looked, there was a hand stretched out to me, and behold, a scroll of a book was in it. Then he spread it before me, and there was writing on the inside and on the outside, and written on it were lamentations and mourning and woe. So I got the wrong translation. This is the NKJV. I need the KJV. But the same thing applies, okay? Ezekiel was given a book that he had to read, okay? He had to read the book, and when he was reading, he said there was nothing but lamentations, mournings, and woe, okay? But we know Ezekiel wasn't given the New Testament, all right? So we have a more sure word of scripture than Ezekiel even had, okay? Because the book of Revelation wasn't even written, he didn't have access to this book, okay? So we have a more sure word of prophecy, meaning that we have more understanding of what the prophets were talking about, and we can explain it and make it plain upon tables, like Habakkuk said in the second chapter. Habakkuk 2. Let me grab it since I brought it out. Habakkuk, where are you? Right here, Habakkuk. This is Habakkuk 2. And the precept I was talking about is right here, 2 and 2, but I start at the top. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Salakia. And the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Okay, so that you may run that readeth it. We're going to make it as plain upon tables. Now, when you go into it's talking about putting it on a plank. Okay, but at the same time, we're making it plain upon tables, meaning we're preparing it in a way that's easy to understand. Okay, we're preparing it in a way that you can access, that you can see, you can digest this word, so to speak, and you can run, meaning you can take this same information and go tell others. Okay, go tell others because you believe, and that's how I got the word, and now I'm trying to send it over to you so you can share the word. Okay, that's the whole point of this ministry, is to get the word, believe, and to share the word. But this word's not for everybody. So there's a battle, okay? Revelation chapter 10 and verse 9, okay? And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. So John the Revelator died, man. Okay. But he's saying here that he is going to have to prophesy again, showing you that this reincarnation the scriptures. So the people who are going to have the ability to be part of this salvation, or the elect of Israel. Okay. And that's why we're going into these precepts. All right. So we can have that comfort of the scriptures, knowing that we can be assured in the word of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Okay. Because we have nothing we've tried at all, and none of it is gonna has brought us salvation. Okay. So we're at the point where we got to fully put our trust in the Lord. Okay. And it was all written for us to get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay. And Ezekiel time, he had scriptures that he had to that sustained him then. So the Lord's always been with us. Same with Jeremiah. Same with John the Revelator. All right. Jeremiah 30:2, thus speaketh the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah. Okay, that's talking about the northern kingdom, Israel, and the southern kingdom, Judah, saith the Lord. And I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. Okay, so he said he's going to bring back he said, for lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity. Let's look at this word again. Okay, this scripture is not telling us you're going to go into slavery all over again. You're going to go into it twice. Let's lock that. Let's skip on. Again. Okay.
Strong's H 7725. Shuv.
Okay. It says to turn back. Okay. To return. If you're gonna return a captivity, if you return something from if you return from something, something from being put somewhere, you just brought it back. Okay. Return onto to turn back. To return, come or go back, come back. Okay. What else? Restore, refresh, repair. Okay. Meaning he's going to end that. We're in captivity still to this day. We're in captivity today as I'm doing this video. I'm doing this video in captivity. Okay. Baruch. What is it? Let's see if I remember. Baruch 3:8. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. Okay. So we're still here in our captivity to this day. Okay, let's go back. So the Lord said in Jeremiah 30:3, he going to turn back or restore the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, meaning the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Okay. But when you look at this Jeremiah, I typed in, when did Jeremiah prophesy? It says, according to the Bible, Jeremiah prophesied from 627 BC until around 582 BC. Okay. It begins, Jeremiah's ministry began in the 13th year of King Josiah's reign, around 626 BC. Jeremiah's ministry continued until after the fall of Jerusalem and the destruction of Solomon's temple in 587 BC. Okay. So at the fall of Solomon's temple, you got to think, that was after the fall of the Israel. Okay. Okay. Actually, Salak, this is continue until after the fall of Jerusalem and the destruction of Solomon's kingdom in 587 BC. So the kingdom was together, but he's prophesying the fall of the temple. Okay. Jeremiah based his ministry out of Jerusalem for most of his time. Jeremiah's prophecies were emotional and often expressed sorrow over the plight of God's people, which are the Israelites. His message included warning against making alliances with Egypt. And that's the big thing. We always trusted in Egypt. Okay. So when we say the Babylonians are coming in, you think you can escape and go into Egypt to seek refuge. Okay. He's warning against that. Okay. Prophesying against that. And that's what's happening now. The Lord is going to be using Esau to come sack Jerusalem again. Okay. But Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. He's going to be sacking you. Where are you guys at in these cities? Okay. And that's what, and talking about you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's where the cities are at. I mean, that's where Jerusalem is at, which is you. Okay. Predicting the servitude to Babylon will last 70 years, which is another thing that happened. But we're predicting that evil, pestilence, okay, prison, same thing. We're prophesying the same thing, expressing hope for a restoration of Israel's fortunes. We're expressing hope that, there's going to be a kingdom after this, okay, a restoration, so to speak, okay, assuring that the Most High would not forsake Israel forever, and he's not going to forsake Israel forever. So we're pretty much saying the same thing in our time that Jeremiah was saying in his time. Okay. Jeremiah 30:4. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Okay, so that's what he sees coming for both kingdoms, Judah and Israel. Talking about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Okay, as a matter of fact, what precept did I want to get? I want to get that precept that there's a couple of precepts. I think let me see. Let me use this screen. I think it's Jeremiah 16, for example. Okay, Jeremiah 16 and 15. But the Lord liveth. I started 14, Salakia. Okay, the Most High will restore them. Talking about the Israelites. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, that it shall no more be said that the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Now, this children of Israel is talking about both tribes, okay? The literal children of Israel, all 12 tribes, man. As a matter of fact, it was 2/3. It was everybody. The Lord saved all of Israel, okay? Jeremiah 16:15, but the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. And that's talking about North America. Okay, he's going to deliver us from that. Jeremiah is prophesying about this. And from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Okay, who are the fathers of the Israelites? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, just so that those are the fathers, man, our forefathers. All right, that's pretty much it on that. What else do I want to get? I think do I have another one? There's another one I'm thinking of. I just can't. I think it's Isaiah. Let me try it. Isaiah 50. It's definitely not that. Isaiah. Let me see. I'm trying to quote it in my head. I can't even think of it. Let me see. Is it 53? It was somewhere. I can't even think of the precept. I know it's somewhere. It might not even be here. I can't even quote it right now. But he's gonna return the captivity of Israel, man. All right. So let me go backwards. Back to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 30 and 5, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, fear, and not of peace. Okay, yeah, trembling, fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. So the Lord's telling Jeremiah to write this in a book, and we know that this is for our learning. So he's saying, ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Now we know men don't get pregnant, okay, even though we live in Babylon and they have who knows what kind of capabilities for taking other people's. But what this is saying is, you got to look at it from Jeremiah's standpoint, okay, his time, all right? And what he's saying is, he sees people going through tribulations, okay, suffering, pain, okay, as if a man could have a child, man. They're not going to be in a good standing in this time. He's seeing the destruction of Babylon. He's seeing the different tribulations that Israel has to go through before they're delivered, okay? And it's not going to be an easy time, okay? Scriptures call it Jacob's trouble, okay? When Esau comes in like a madman, all right? Because he know he has but a short time, all right? So we have to prepare for this, this day, this time, this tribulation to the best of our ability. We have to prepare for it. We have to learn from the mistakes of our forefathers so we can have the best chances of making it through this tribulation. Okay, this is why we're learning the scriptures. We're not just learning it so we can understand the etymology of words, so we could, say words in different languages. It's not about that. It's not about how you can, you got all the precepts. It's not about that. Okay. Yeah, we link up the scriptures with modern current events, but most of the believers who do this, they already believe. They don't need anybody. They can stop watching the news tomorrow and still believe that this day is coming, that this tribulation is coming, and they need to prepare themselves to the best of their ability, and they need to warn the wicked of their wickedness, or they will be accountable for the blood, your blood, if you are one of them. Okay. So there's a lot going on, and this work has to be done. Okay. Jeremiah 30 and 7. This is the point. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And you need to believe that. You need to believe that you're going to be saved out of it. Jacob's talking about the whole nation of Israel. Okay. He said there's no day like it. So you got to be prepared for that. Daniel 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, talking about Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Okay, this is talking about the elect of Israel. All right. And we got 144,000, well, the 1/3. Okay, 33.3% of Israel represents the elect of Israel, but the 144,000 is talking about the 12,000 men, specifically just men, out of each tribe, each of the 12 tribes. Okay, excluding the tribe of Dan. All right, that are going to be the elites of the world to come, the elect, the Elohim, okay, the gods of the new world, okay, which is the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, okay. But it's to establish Yahweh Shai. He's the one who's going to come back and take over and take these thrones off these heathen, okay? And he's going to take all power and authority from these heathen, man. Okay. And that leads me into Genesis 33. Now, I started off with the AI saga. I think they did a pretty good job. AI is coming out. The Lord said knowledge shall increase. Okay. Daniel 12:4. Let me grab that. And that's what's happening. Now we got AI exposing Esau. Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book. So the book was sealed. The scriptures were sealed for a long time until Yahushua died, and then he opened the seals of the book, even until the time of the end. Okay, now we got this wisdom now, so it's the time of the end. This is another indication that it's the time of the end, not just the river Euphrates being leaving. Okay, there's other things that indicate the time of the end, like the price of bread. Okay, that's another indication. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans waking up to their true identity, understanding these scriptures, coming back to their nationality. Okay. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Okay. That's why we have AI saga. Okay. I'm going to bring that out. But let's go back to Genesis, the 33rd chapter, 33. Genesis 33:1. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men, and he divided the children unto Leah and unto Rachel and unto the two handmaids. Okay, so Jacob is, okay, our forefather, Isaac's son, Esau's brother, had 2 wives and 2 handmaids who he had children with. He had 11 kids in total with all these women. Men servants, cattle. He had a lot to lose that day when Esau was coming with over 400 men. Okay. And he was angry. He stole his birthright. He stole his blessing. This is what going through Esau's mind. Okay. But when you go to the book of Hebrews 12:6, it tells you that wasn't the case. 12:16, Salah. Hebrews 12:16, it says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. He sold his birthright. Okay. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. Yeah. So he was rejected that day when he came back from coming out of the field and trying to go back and get a blessing from Isaac. Okay, the Lord rejected him, but it just played out in a way that seemed as if he lost something. Okay, the Lord rejected him. Okay, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Yeah, he found no place of repentance. He can't repent. Okay, because he wasn't created for that. He was created for Proverbs 16:4. Okay. That's what he was created for. Let me grab that. Proverbs 16, verse 4. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. But who's the wicked? The wicked is Esau, okay? According to Malachi 1:4. Okay. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. Okay. So Esau is the border of the wickedness, man. All right. And he was created for the day of evil, and he has to fulfill prophecy. That's why he was put in the position to have this type of power. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'll go back to Genesis. Okay. But this already happened. So Jeremiah is not talking about Jacob's trouble like this. He already read this. He knows this all happened. He's talking about the I don't know if progenitor is the word, but the children of Israel. Okay. The descendants of Jacob that are scattered throughout the world. They are going to see the same thing that Jacob pretty much went through. Here it is, Esau, mad because of the blessing, mad because of the birthright. Jacob being, pretty much just fought an angel for his name. That's what we're doing now on these highways and byways. We're fighting Satan for our name, man, by learning the scriptures. Okay, you gotta fight that angel before the day where you gotta fight Esau, man, through the spirit. Okay. Genesis 33:2, and he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost. Okay. Jacob loved Joseph, man. Loved him, man. Put him hindermost. Rachel and Joseph, and he loved Rachel too. Okay, you got to read about that in Genesis, what's that, the 30, I think it's 30. I think it's 29. 29, and let's go to 13. It came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob of his sister's son that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house, and he told Laban all these things. Okay. And jump down to verse 16. And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. Okay, so he loved Rachel, man. So he put her hindermost. Okay, that's as far back as he could. Okay, then he had Leah and her children. Leah had Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah. Okay, but Leah and Rachel are Laban's daughters that he gave to Jacob, but they both were given handmaids. Okay, Jacob had kids with the handmaids also. Okay, so this was Jacob's whole family on the line, all his wealth. Okay, when you read the book of, as a matter of fact, let's go to Genesis 31, and pretty much sums it up. Let me, I want to see how much time he did. I believe because Rebecca told Jacob to go to Laban's house when she heard Jake pretty much, not Jake, Esau claiming that he was going to kill Jacob. Okay. Genesis 31:41. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. This is Jacob talking to Laban. I have served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters and 6 years for thy cattle. And thou hast changed my wages 10 times. So he was messing with him, man. This dude, Laban, was all over the place trying to get Jake for everything he could, man. And that's how you know that, he's family, man. I don't know if they consider Laban a wicked dude, man. That's just Jake, man. Jake's just his family. That's how family is, man. They always try to get whatever they can get out of you, but Laban rarely took care of Jacob. Okay, he let him live with him 20 years. Okay, he was there a long time, man. Give him 2 wives, pretty much four wives. Okay, or 2 wives and 2 handmaids. Okay, and what else? And cattle. Okay, and Rebecca thought that he was only going to be gone for 2 days, but now he's returned, and now he's faced with Esau. Okay, Genesis 33:34. And Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. Yeah, so he came, fell on his neck and wept. Okay, and he lifted up his eyes and saw the women and the children and said, who are those with thee? And he said, the children which the Most High have graciously given thy servant. Okay, so Esau had 400 men up here, but now he's falling on his, he's happy to see Jake all of a sudden. Okay, Salakia. He's happy to see Jake all of a sudden. As a matter of fact, let me go over here. Okay. And that's all because of the Lord. Okay. Actually, did I skip something? I think I skipped something because yeah. I skip Genesis 33:3. It says, and he passed over before them. This is Jacob passing over before, because he put them all ahead of him, but now he's passing over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. So he's praying to the Lord that the Lord don't put him to death via Esau. Okay, the sword. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me grab that precept before I move around too much. Okay. Esau is the Lord's sword, all right? Psalms 17, verse 13. It says, arise, O Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, okay? So we know that the wicked is Esau, okay? He's the wicked, and he's the sword, okay? The Lord is using Esau as the sword. He's bringing the tribulation. So you don't want to be worshiping the sword when the one bearing him or holding him is in control of over him. Or Syrian, the rod of my anger, talking about Esau, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. Okay, so the Lord is using Esau as a rod for his anger, man. Okay. So the Lord's controlling Esau. So you don't want to be worshiping him. You want to be worshiping the one who's controlling him. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that. I don't want to spend too much time. He's the sword, man. Okay. He said he bowed himself to the ground 7 times. Okay. So Jacob is praying to the Most High that he don't put him to death, man. Okay. He's not praying to Esau, Edom. Okay. He's bound himself to the ground because he sees his brother with 400 men coming and he thinking he's going to die. Okay. And he's praying to the Lord. Okay. And it says Genesis 33:4. And Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him and they wept. Yeah, so that's what he's doing, man. He he didn't slay him. Okay. Showing you that the Lord is in control of him. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me get that. Proverbs 16:7, it says, when a man's ways please the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, he make even his enemies to be at peace with him. Okay. Esau is Jacob's enemy. Okay. He's his enemy. Okay. And that's why Jake was praying like that. He knew he needed the Lord. The Lord told him to go back to the land of Israel. So he knew the Lord was with him. So he did have faith. He did have a dream of Jacob's ladder. Okay, he had that dream. And the Lord said, that land, I'm going to give it to thee and then to thy seed. Okay. So he knew that the Lord was dealing with him. Okay. Genesis 33:5, and he lifted up his eyes and saw the woman and the children and said, who are those with thee? And he said, the children which the Most High have graciously given that servant. As a matter of fact, I actually wanted to go to Genesis. It's a lot. Let me go to Genesis 32 and 28. It says, and he said, thy name shall be no more Jacob, but Israel, for as a prince has thou power with the Most High and with men, and has prevailed. Okay, so by him pleasing the Lord and making his enemies to be at peace with him, he's prevailed over Esau. Okay, the whole point was to get through this Jacob's trouble. Okay. He wants to get into the land of Israel, like Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai told him to do. All right. Is another precept. Genesis 45 and 14. And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. So this is talking about when Joseph and his brothers came back and returned Benjamin all the way back to Joseph, and then he showed him that he wasn't just some random Egyptian, he was second in command under Pharaoh. He was ruling Egypt during a famine. So it was like a reconciliation of Israel right there. Okay. And when you read Genesis, the 33rd chapter, it's a precept for that. Okay. Showing you like there's some similarities to him embracing Esau, running to him and embracing him, falling on his neck and kissed him. It was like a reconciliation, just like when Joseph, after being thrown in a pit and sold to an Ishmaelite into slavery by his own family. Now they had this reconciliation. He's up. He has power, and he's having mercy on his family, even though they did him wrong, because he can see that the Lord had a purpose for him to go through these things. Same with Esau. Okay, right here. It looks like that, but we know through reading the rest of the scriptures and having the understanding, reading Malachi 1:4, saying that the Lord will have indignation with Esau forever. Okay, so the Christians might use this as a way to say that Esau can be saved, but that's not the case. Okay. You can never trust thine enemy, according to Sirach 12. Okay. You can't trust him, man. He says, even though he come crouching, man, you can't trust him. He's the devil. All right. As a matter of fact, what other precept did I want to get? I think I wanted to get Luke. Is it Luke 15? Let me just double check about the prodigal son, because that's what happened with him. Yeah, the prodigal son. Luke 15:20. And he arose and came to his father, but when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the father said to his servants, bring forth the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet, and bring hither the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found, and they began to be merry. So that's what Esau would hope. That would be in his best interest, man. Cause all this destruction that he's been known to do, okay? And then just come back and be forgiven for all of his sins, and he can float off into like Bonnie and Clyde, man. This is book of Amos 1:11. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Yeah, so for 3 or 4 transgressions, the Lord said he wasn't going to turn away the punishments thereof. But Esau got way more sins than 3 or 4. Okay, when you go to Revelations 18:5, it tells you that for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her sins, talking about the Babylon. Okay, the woman that sits on many waters. Okay. It says Revelation 18:3, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So he's polluted the whole world with his ideologies, his wickedness. Okay. I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have ripped up the woman with child. Where am I? Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So he didn't change. He kept that wrath. He pursued his brother. Okay. And Jacob and Esau are, you would say, well, they're done. They passed away. There's no more Jacob and Esau, man, but that's not the case. Okay. He's going to be coming down on Jacob again, man, through his lineage, through his Edomite ancestry. Okay. Let's go to Revelation, the 12th chapter. Okay. Revelation 12 and verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, 10 horns, 7 crowns upon his heads. Okay. That's talking about Edomite power structure. Okay. Revelation 12 and 17. And the dragon, talking about that same red dragon in Revelation 12 and 3, was wroth with the woman. The woman represents Israel, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. This is talking about the elect of the Israelites. Okay. The 1/3, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. Okay. So that's talking about them. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's go to Revelation 12 and 12. I even skipped that. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Okay. That's talking about the believers. Okay. They're the heavens. The kingdom of heaven is within them. They're the ones whose conversation is in heaven. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Okay. The inhabitants of the earth and of the sea is everybody else outside of the believers. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So he knows that he have but a short time. That's why he's coming down like that. Just like our forefather Jacob is going through it right now. He got his kids, he's trying to get out of this judgment. But what did he do? He got to keep the faith. Wisdom of Solomon 10 and 10. When the righteous fled from his brother's wrath, she guided him in right paths, showed him the kingdom of the Most High, and gave him knowledge of holy things, made him rich in his travels, and multiplied the fruit of his labors. So that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping for mercy in these last days. Okay. That the Lord can direct us in the right paths. All right. Where am I? Genesis. Let's go back to Genesis. Did I drop Genesis? Let's go back to Genesis 3. Slide 33. And 5. And he lifted up his eyes and saw the woman and children. It's talking about Esau, and said, who are those with thee? And he said, the children which the Most High have graciously given thy servant. Then the handmaidens came near, they and their children, and they bowed themselves. So everyone's bowed. Okay. And Leah with her children came near and bowed themselves. And after came Joseph near and Rachel, and they bowed themselves. So they were all submissive to the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Okay, but Jacob, went in front of them. Okay, showing you he fully gave. Where does it say that? And he passed over before them, to meet Esau. So he met Esau first, face to face, man. It was Esau and 400 other men. What made Jacob do that? His faith in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. He had nothing to fear, but fear itself, all right? And the Lord, he relied on the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, and he knew it, because you gotta think, man. Let me grab this. 1 Kings 19, I think. 19 and 18. It says, yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him. So Baal is a false god that a bunch of Israelites started to worship under King Ahab and Jezebel. Jezebel had him going off. Okay, Elijah thought he was the last prophet left. Okay, and that's the same thing that's gonna be happening in the future. But Salakia, the point I want to make is that these 7,000 in Israel go back to Jacob. Okay, so you're telling me descendants of Israel are not going to be bowing the knee to this image of Baal when the literal Jacob actually was bowing the knee to Esau? No. Okay, that's not what that's saying. No, you got to be trusting in the Lord. The Lord's going to be delivering you from these things. Salakia, I didn't share my screen, but I was right here. Okay, 7,000 in Israel. Man. Okay, back to Genesis 33 and 38. And he said, what meanest thou by all this drove which I met? And he said, these are to find grace in the sight of my Lord. And Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Keep that thou hast unto thyself. And Jacob said, nay, I pray thee, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For therefore I have seen thy face is as though I had seen the face of the Most High, and thou was pleased with me. Okay, so Jacob's not saying Esau looks like the Most High God. He's saying because he thought he was going to die, man. He literally thought, listen, I'm going to get put to death. That's what he was telling himself, man. If the Lord don't deliver me out of this, man, I'm out of here. Okay. Psalms 119 and verse, where is it? 164. It says, 7 times a day do I praise thee because of thy righteous judgments. Okay. Yeah, he was praising Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai 7 times, just like he did here when he was bowed down 7 times. Okay. Where was it? He said, and he bowed. Salat. He's talking about Jacob and bowed himself to the ground 7 times. Okay. That's what that's saying. 7 times a day I praise thee. Why? Because of thy righteous judgments. He thought he was going to get judged. Okay. And you would have thought the same thing because Esau was a cunning hunter. He knew, and he got 400 men. Okay. This is Book of Psalms 9 and 16. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executes. So him saying that, oh, I thought I saw the law. He thought he was going to die. And the Lord is known by the judgment that he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Salah. So he knew that the Lord just delivered him, man. Okay. And he's very gracious for that. It's not because he's worshiping Esau. Okay. I know they like to romanticize this scripture verse saying how there could be a reconciliation, but that's not the case. Esau is the wicked. He was created for the day of evil. Proverbs 16:4. Okay. Genesis 33 and what was and 10, and Jacob said, nay, I pray thee, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand, for therefore I have seen thy face as though I seen the face of the Most High, and thou was pleased with me. Take, I pray thee, my blessing that is brought to thee, because the Most High have dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. And he urged him, and he took it. So he took the gifts, and he said, let us take our journey, and let us go, and I will go before thee. So Esau is trying to go with Jacob. And he said unto him, my Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and the herds with young are with me. And if men should overdrive them one day, all the flock will die. Let my Lord, I pray thee, pass over before his servant, and I will lead on softly, according as the cattle that goeth before me, and the children be able to endure until I come unto my Lord, unto Seir. So Jacob's telling him, man, listen, go home. I'll meet you in Mount Seir. Okay, you go ahead of me. I got children with me. I got my cattle, you know. I'm going to go at that pace, man. Okay. And Esau said, let me now leave with thee some of the folk that are with me. And he said, what needeth it? Let me find grace in the sight of my Lord. So he's trying to leave him with people, man. You know, this dude, you don't want to be following Esau. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. But you let me grab the scripture, man. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12. Okay, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. If you can receive it, Jacob and Esau, or Cain and Abel, or Abel and Cain, respectively. Okay. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yeah, even though he's on his neck, kissing you, you know, yet take good heed. Yeah, don't fall for that, man. He's Esau. And beware of him. And you need to know this because Jacob, your forefather, didn't fall for it, and you shouldn't be falling for it either. Even though you have shown that what happens when you trust the devil, he puts your ass to death. He puts your ass in captivity. We coming into the last days. You don't want to be trusting this devil, man. Okay. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Yeah, so he's like rusty iron. Okay, no matter how much he cleans himself off, that rust is gonna eventually come back and show itself. Okay, and that's Esau. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overtaken thee, he stand up in thy place. Yeah, let me go with you, and we can go back to the homeland and be, you know, like it was in the old days. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. Yeah, he'll take your seat by putting you to death. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? And Esau is a wild man. Okay, you don't want to trust him, man. He's a cunning hunter. Okay, and his eye is on Jacob. All right. You don't want to be trusting this devil. So Esau returned that day on his way unto Seir, and Jacob journeyed to Succoth and built him a house and made booths for his cattle. Therefore, the name of the place is called Succoth. And Jacob came to Shalem, a city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Pandan Aram and pitched his tent before the city. So here it is. He's making booths for his cattle. Okay, because it's hot. He wants to keep them, you know, he got to do a lot with the cattle, man. You got to keep them from the elements, the heat. Okay, so you figure he lodged there, just escaping Esau. But the Lord told him to go to Bethel. But here it is, he's stopping here. And he bought a parcel of a field where he had spread his tent, and at the hand of children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. Yes, Shechem's father. Okay, a city of Shechem, and he met Shechem's, okay, children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. And he erected there an altar and called it Elelohi, whatever, Israel. Okay. And when you look at Shechem, Salaki, I didn't even share my screen. When you look at Shechem, I'm going to actually get that. Let me. Okay. So the modern day location of Shechem is Tel Balata, a site in West Banks Balata Al Balad suburb. Let's see if we can take a. Let me see if I can get. Where's it showing me? Oh, man, it ain't showing me nothing, man. It ain't showing me nothing. Pretty much, it's the West Bank, okay, where the Palestinians be at today. All right. Shechem was where is it? Yeah, they call it Nablus. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Nablus, located between Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim. It is the capital of Nablus, governor in the commercial and central state of Palestine. Okay. Showing you right here, Nablus, man. West Bank, state of Palestine. Okay. So that's what's going on, man. That's what's going on in the land. But I'm going to end it right there. Lord willing, I was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Shalom.